From the Flock of Birds production studio, it's time for the Mountaineer Ramble with your hosts, John Covey Cole, Michael Covey, and Jack Kincaid. Now, let's join the guys and talk Mountaineer football.
Hey, what's up, guys? John Covey Cole here. Got my buddy Jack Kincaid, little brother that's not so little, Michael Covey, here to help me out here. This is the Mountaineer Ramble, and we are going to be talking weekly about upcoming games, past games, injuries, all things Mountaineer football. But we're going to go ahead and start off today by talking about last year's season. For me, it was a heartbreaker. It was kind of expected going in how the season was going to be.
8-5. What do you think? What do you think we were at best last season? I'm gonna say 10. 2 games we should have had back.
I'll tell you what. I was very, very disappointed in Josh Lambert last year. I mean, the year before last, it seemed like he was very clutch and he was there when we needed him. But there was a couple missed opportunities last year. I think he went at 21 for 28.
Kind of a slump there, at least downward in production. But hopefully this year it's all long ball, and he's icy like he was the first year, ice water in the veins. So good luck, Josh.
We do got Russell Shell coming back this year, so I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Can't get no worse.
Well, we could, but hopefully he picks up where he left off last year and keeps on track. He only had 1 fumble last year, which surprised me when I looked at the stats, because I thought he actually had a lot more.
Well, I think they were expecting he was going to have a lot more touches last year, but what happened in all truth is Wendell had a lot of that part of the game.
Yeah.
He dominated when we were good. He was great,
right?
And that limited Shell's touches. From what I hear out of camp, he's looking to make up for that. And
well, it's his year. I mean,
and Coach Friendly says that keep underestimating him, keep talking smack. Mikey, I'm looking to you for that. That is what fuels him, and he says he's been a beast all of camp. So that's good luck to you, and tear it up.
But yeah, Wendell rushed for over 1,500 yards last year. Only fumbled the ball once. But the difference between him and Russell Shell, like you said, was touches was 1. Smallwood was averaging 116 yards a game, as to where Russell Shell was only averaging about 55 yards per game.
One thing I want to put out there is, not to take up for it, I mean, offensive production is a numbers game as much as anything else, but we're looking at 9 rushing TDs from Smallwood compared to Russell Shell's 8.
True.
So you might only be pulling down 55 yards, but it could be the 55 that count.
Exactly.
And last season, we had it's typical Mountaineer ball. Unfortunately, our consistency game is low. And that's not to say anything about the guys. It's been that way
for as long as I can remember. It seems like when one side of the ball plays well, the following week they don't play worth a crap, and the other side plays good. I mean,
it's just like the ball
to me,
game.
And going back, I think it stabilized a little bit in the Pat White years, but Pat White was threatening to other teams. We're not always that. We're always pretty good, or we're way, way, way playing out of our league.
Right.
We haven't had that consistent threat, that kind of fear-instilling performances that we've expected.
Right.
Gino went really high in the beginning part of the season, talking about Heisman hopeful, all that business, and then a real tailspin in production at the end of the season.
We was talking about a little bit earlier about the heartbreak of the Mountaineers. That was a perfect example.
It epitomizes it.
The first 6 games of the season, we was like, we're going to the championship this year, son.
Yeah.
And then we lost, the next 6? Something, I don't know.
Didn't we go to the Honky Tonk Bowl?
No, let's load a toilet bowl or something. I don't remember
whatever.
I'm anxious to see how we're going to catch the ball. Obviously Skylar Howard's coming back. I've been reading some stuff. Said that he's a lot more patient, comfortable in the backfield.
Less Johnny Manziel-ish, yeah.
Yes. Oh man, I got
He's
so
not
mad.
the best color man in the game for nothing, folks.
But anyway, Scott Howard last year went 221 for 403, which it's not the worst it could be, but it's not as good as we'd like it to be. A lot of those wasn't his fault. You know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, if he's putting the ball where his guy can get it and nobody else can, they should catch that ball.
Well, I tell you, a good ratio I'd like to see this year. I would like to see Skyler's rushing touchdowns eclipse his interceptions. If we can do that, I think we might have a 10-win season
Was
on
it
our
14
hands.
last year?
I think it was around there. I'm obviously not the best semi-color man. I don't know, one of my grayscale men in the game.
Off-white.
Right. But
Mormon over here.
But I agree with you. If he can not turn the ball over and be more consistent with his completions, I think we'll be all right with him. You know.
Well, I've got a good comparison for Skyler Howard, and it's very easy to get down on a starting quarterback when he's not dominant and consistently dominant in today's game, playing in a large conference like ours. But I look at it like this: he's in the maybe epitomizes Mountaineer football better than a lot of people playing now. You have a quarterback that's too short for the position.
Yeah.
That has this mastery of an offense that is high octane, high touch, high scoring.
Right.
That biggest problem is probably he gets flustered. You're never gonna improve on that height. Right. But like Mikey was bringing up, looking better in the pocket. Less Manzielish. I love that.
I didn't know Manziel was a verb, but it is.
Oh, well,
yeah,
apparently now. Apparently
Webster,
now.
that's Webster.
I mean, you know, if you got bail bondsmen like that, I mean, yeah, you should be a verb.
Why not? Exactly. Why not?
Anyway, that's the rub on him. I mean, he's going to be good. He's going to be good in this offense. Now, how good is dictated by really the things that he can't control. You can't control height.
Right.
You can't control the errant throws. You can't control
he does
rushes
have
and things like that.
A veteran offensive line this year, so that ought to help him.
Much improved is a word from camp. Big, strong, fast, deep. That sounds
all my favorite.
That sounds porno-esque, but when an offensive line coach talks about his line like that, you might want to take notice because you look at some of our biggest challenges is matching up against, say, maybe a less skilled Texas that always seems to field huge ball players. A sometimes even or more skilled Oklahoma that also fields a lot of really good ball players.
Some in the water down there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, oil money, Dallas. I don't know.
But anyway, you know, Shelton Gibson, he had 37 receptions last year for 887 yards, 73 yards a game, 9 touchdowns, which is great. You know, behind him was DeKill Shorts with 45 receptions, 528 yards. Jordan Thompson, 32 receptions, 509 yards. So we got people that can get the job done if they can catch the ball. So we got a lot of offensive guys coming back this season. Not a whole lot of defensive guys coming back this season. You know, we didn't talk about Skyler, Rushell, some of the receivers. I can't ever pronounce this guy's last name, but I'm excited about having him back. That Noble, help me out here.
Noble Wachaku.
That's him.
Oh, there it is.
I'm excited about having him back. You know, he had 8.5 sacks last year.
Rated as #1 preseason Big 12 defensive end this year.
Yeah,
by the way, looking for big things out of you, sir.
I got high hopes, obviously, like always, but you know, we'll see where that leads. We got Nana coming back.
Yeah, come on, Nana.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody loves a good grandma.
Yeah, Nana.
Don't know where he's
Grandmama.
going. Grandmama. That's a little bit about what we got coming back. You know.
Unfortunately, we got holes punched through us in the defensive line.
Oh, man,
walk-offs,
there's
kickoffs,
Bunch of holes.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that shortly.
breakups.
I was reading something the other day. I don't know how accurate it was because it was from a site that I usually don't get my information from. But it said we had 20 seniors left last season. And I know it was a lot, but I didn't realize it was that many.
That's
depressing.
a shot. If that's true, that's never good.
No, that could be.
You got a whole practice squad that graduates. You boys are doing too much homework.
We got William Cress is still there. Don't know what he's going to do. I've heard slot receiver type deal.
Anything. Water boy.
Be great to it'd be great to take a guy that is naturally talented like that and make him an H or slot and open him up a little bit. It's an evolution becoming a quarterback in college. It's probably a double evolution becoming Dana Holgorsen's quarterback in that set. I hear the offense isn't that complicated, but then that's a matter of perspective again, isn't it?
So we got a couple new running backs I'm excited about. We got Kenny McCoy and Justin Crawford. Excited about those two guys.
Definitely. Justin Crawford, also known as the Phenom.
He's from Death Valley, right?
Well, I mean, technically what he said is Florida. We all kind of wish he was from...
I'm thinking the other Phenom.
Yeah. I'd actually kind of like to recruit him. I don't know if Taker has any college time.
I thought Brandon Weedham was old. Was he like 39 playing in the league?
Dead man walking.
That's right. And I think somebody was telling me that Justin Crawford worked at the Taco Bell in Morgantown, maybe, or somewhere.
Well, I think it was in Florida. But, it had a side hustle. Had a side hustle. And for all reports is really giving a good showing up there and looking to be a very productive and hopefully stingy back this season.
We got another Crawford, a transfer from Miami, Antonio Crawford, playing cornerback, which is good because we lost a lot of.
We need him.
the more help, the merrier. We appreciate you.
Got a strong back, we can use you.
We need help.
Not just anybody.
Help.
Not just Bobby.
No, just help us.
We'll talk about Henry shortly. And his unfortunate accident, but we got Jared Harper and Jeremy Tyler probably going to pick up some slack back there. We got Rasul Douglas. Did I pronounce that right?
The closest I know.
Yeah.
Well, you look at it like this: you go into a summer camp thinking you're going to have this unit out on defense.
He said unit.
I did say unit. The reality is that can change very rapidly, which the past about 10 days has been some quantum leaps forward in changing.
Right.
Probably quantum leaps back as far as personnel decisions, things like that. But you know what? You got young, hungry players. Time to step up, get you a seat at the table. So, God bless, fellas.
So, guys, let's talk a little bit about the injury and discipline situation.
Rough weekend.
Oh, man, it's been super rough. And I was very hopeful, which I still am hopeful about the season, but some of these guys really broke my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, such as being a Mountaineer fan.
Been a tough week.
It has.
Started off going into Saturday. I think ESPN had us up to 5, finishing 5 in Big 12, which I think the rest of us would have liked to seen that probably in the top 3. But it's a long season. It's a meat grinder of a schedule.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, with the injury situation, we're down to 8. So.
And how many? Was there 10 teams in the Big 12 right now?
Yeah.
So they got probably Iowa State behind us.
Yeah.
And Kansas probably.
Possibly.
Hopefully.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Just like the Kansas, it's just not your game.
Yeah, totally not.
Not in Kansas anymore.
Obviously, the biggest heartbreak, in my opinion, I'll go ahead and start there, was Drayvon Askew Henry.
But it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know what we got a curse the last couple of years with safeties in their ACLs.
Yeah.
Last year Joseph went out, and
I cried during that. Yeah.
I teared up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to
I was
you.
crying.
And then
committed
Drayvon,
a couple crimes. I'm not gonna lie.
a couple couches got burnt, a couple potatoes.
Can't party like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's a new day.
Too many cameras and got a responsibility. But, you know, Drayvon come in and picked up the slack when Joseph got hurt. And I was very impressed with him last year for his first season. Thought he did very well. You know, it hurts. He was going to be the leader of the defense this year, in my opinion, because it's going to be a young defense anyway. We had a couple other defensive linemen get hurt. Who were they? Well, a couple of them got hurt, and a couple of them got kicked off the team or walked off. There was Fields. Hurt his knees, out for the season.
Season ender.
Yeah. Brandon Ferns, you know, linebacker, ACL, out for the season.
Another ACL. Then you got the discipline problems.
You got Lawless and Jefferson.
You got a walk-off and a kickoff.
And then Adam Pankey, the DUI this past weekend, driving and drinking and drinking and driving.
Yeah, apparently the weekend practice went pretty well for the offense, and maybe it took it a little bit too far. But sure, the young man would like to have that one back. Returning rising senior, played 30-some games up until this point.
Fortunately for the Mountaineers, we have a pretty stout offensive line, but it's, you know, on a personal matter, like you said, he's probably kicking himself in the butt right now.
Yeah.
I hate that for him, but you live, you learn. I mean,
it's a big lesson you got to learn. Unfortunately, it's probably the worst time, and it could happen for all of us, and definitely for him.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure you've heard about the comment CBS Sports made, right?
Oh yeah, you picked the best college football team from every state, and
tell these fine people who they said West Virginia's finest football.
CBS Sports thinks Marshall Thunder and Herd is the best Division I football team in this state.
From what they tell me, that's in Huntington.
Yeah. What's their record against the Mountaineers? I think it's 12-0.
I have a football team.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I had a realization a couple years ago. I was one of these fans that used to say up until a couple years ago, I'm all for Marshall as long as they're not playing WVU. Then I figured it out.
Or comparing the two.
And then I figured it out. I'm not for Marshall.
Right.
I don't like Marshall. I'm a Mountaineer through and through. Sorry, Huntington, but
I'll just throw my typical lukewarm response out there. I have nothing against or for Marshall. I just think we played a series of games. I remember being at a few that we set out to decide this, and
I remember a few. I think it was a year after we stopped playing Marshall. And that was the year Cato went off.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like, well, if they would have played y'all then, they'd have beat you. Maybe so, but we'll never know.
I don't know. I've heard that story before. West Virginia also is a member of the Big 12 or the, God, let's see how long the road trips can be league.
Right.
So it's a little bit different animal.
Yeah. WVU doesn't really have the luxury of playing community college teams like Thunder and Herd does.
No.
And with that being said, a lot of love to the Marshall people out there, but it's hard to listen to that nonsense. And ESPN
in my opinion, no disrespect, but it's kind of like Major League Baseball and minor leagues.
Yeah,
they're good for where they're at, but you bring them up to where the big boys play, if you will, it's going to be a different story. I mean, obviously this is just speculation until we get to that point. We can't say for sure. But I think that was very ballsy of CBS Sports to say that Marshall, they may have had a better winning percentage the last couple of years, but strength of schedule, that's all I'm saying.
And as I said earlier, numbers don't lie. Mountaineers, 12 wins, Marshall 0, head-to-head.
And hips don't lie either, is what my good friend Shakira told me one time.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
You mean Shakira?
That's the one.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
She's Dutch.
Right.
Or Spanish, one of them.
Wow.
European.
Leave that alone.
The Mountaineer Ramble, sponsored in part by El Mariachi, Mexican restaurant and cantina on Airport Road in Beaver. Open 7 days a week, offering a mouth-watering array of delicious Mexican cuisine. Stop by and see Jay and Jose, and you'll see for yourself why El Mariachi was voted the best Mexican restaurant in southern West Virginia. El Mariachi will spice up your day.
You know, this year's schedule is an interesting one. Some people like it, some people don't. I know I was talking to you off air. You're not a big fan of it.
Don't care for the bye weeks like that at all. It's too much stop-start.
Yeah, that's, you know, me personally, I'm either going to have a bye week before I play a juggernaut or after I play a juggernaut to recoup.
Yeah, not where they are.
But let's go ahead and give a couple of our friends a call. We can call our buddy Chuck Webb. He's going to give us a little bit of his opinion on the schedule. We'll get an outsider's opinion on, you know, what we got coming on this season and how he feels we're going to do.
I don't know. It's not here no more.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Chuck? John Covey Cole, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We're doing all right. Just hanging out here with Michael Covey. And you know him, and good old Jack Kincaid.
How you doing, fella?
What's up, Bob?
What's going on, Chuck?
We just wanted to call and talk to you a little bit about the schedule this season and see what you like, what you don't like. See where you see any losses in the schedule, or if there's anything you're worried about, or anything like that. But just go ahead and tell me what you think about it there, and if there's any games you think we're going to lose. Ultimately, what do you think our record's going to be this season, and why?
I think 8-4. No, 9-3. 9-3.
9-3. Okay. So who's the three losses there that you're thinking is going to happen?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's Oklahoma. I don't think we got the forces to keep up with them.
Okay.
Texas has had me worried.
Old Charlie Strong, he's doing things down there, ain't he?
Yeah, they got a bunch of underclassmen.
They're going to be hungry, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Baylor's going to be tough.
Yeah, but fortunately we do have Baylor at home, so.
The weather will be in our favor. Morgantown in December.
Yeah, bring it on.
And the other one, I'm kind of torn between Texas Tech and TCU.
Well, that would be 4 losses then. So you saying 3 or 4? What are you thinking there?
It's a toss-up between them. I think TCU lost too much with Boykin.
Yeah.
Texas Tech's kind of up and coming. Plus, Cliff Kingsbury, you know, he was a Dana quarterback. So
I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is with him and quarterbacks, but it seems like he can't be satisfied.
No.
They run away on him.
You got Baker Mayfield, where Oklahoma now?
Yeah.
And then you got old Davis Webb in California.
Yep.
I mean, but you know, obviously he's got somebody good, and Davis wasn't transferred, you know.
Is Mahomes still there?
Patrick Mahomes, I think's his name.
It's just all who's ready to play. Well, Chuck, we appreciate your time, brother. We're probably going to be calling you back this season. I appreciate your insight.
Oh, anytime, man. I'm a diehard Mountaineer.
All right, brother. Well, until next time, man. Take care, brother.
All right, boys. Y'all be good.
Take care, Chuck.
See you, bro.
9-3 from Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck had a lot of valid points there. I mean, you know, it all depends on, you know, what we got going on as opposed to what everybody else is going on. Baylor, last game of the season, you know, that could be a shootout depending on where everybody's at. You know, Baylor's always got a good team, but there are a lot of ruckus right now too down there. You know?
They're in disarray. I mean, if they pull it out, it's just it shows the strength of their recruiting and what their underclassmen can do. But you know, let's just hold out and say hopefully they don't play well in the cold in December, and we have our machine running on all cylinders. So,
well, let's go ahead and give Chris Meadows, former ESPN analyst, a call and see what he thinks about this year's schedule and see where he thinks we're going to finish this season.
Hello.
Hey, Chris Meadows.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? We got you on air with Mountaineer Ramble. It's John Covey Cole here. Got my brother Michael Covey, my partner Jack Kincaid here. We wanted to call and talk to you a little bit about the upcoming schedule and how you felt about it. We know that you worked with ESPN Radio for a while, so you obviously know your stuff, so we wanted to call and get your opinion on this year's schedule and ultimately see where you got us finishing at the end of the season.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Okay. Are there any games that really stand out to you that you're like, Mountaineers aren't going to win that one? There's no way.
Oklahoma is really, really good, and they have a ton of depth. So that game, I don't necessarily know if you think that they can win that game. You've really got to get a lot of turnovers and let the Mountaineers play really good as well. So yeah, that's the one that I would think that there's probably no chance at.
Okay, I like it that it's at home though. That kind of makes me feel a little better. I went up there and seen them last time they played Oklahoma. Obviously, it was two different teams, but I was, typical Mountaineer fan. I was ready, and we got this, and then they let the air right out of my sails. You know what I mean?
Well, really and truly, whenever you start looking at scheduling, you start looking at these top tier teams like in Oklahoma, Alabama, this kind of stuff. You follow the money. And that's really what you look at, John. Whenever you get into it, you see these teams, and they're top-notch recruiting teams because they've got the best facilities, they've got more money to travel better, and just to be honest with you, they've got more tradition. So you start really looking at things like that, and you're really fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
We've been real lucky to compete with Texas the last few years, considering the amount of money that those schools give you.
Yeah. Speaking of, what you said, following the money, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of the in-state recruits going elsewhere. I was reading something the other day that said there was 23 high school kids that decided not to go to West Virginia and to go somewhere else.
Yeah, screw those kids. I'll just be honest with you. They don't want to come to their home state and play. You don't need them. The thing that really ticks you off about that is that you would think that these guys want to stay in state and be part of their state program because their state is what gets them to where they're at.
Right.
And then they turn around and want to leave. Jesus Christ, at least none of them are going to Pitt. That's all I can say.
100% with you, Chris.
Yeah.
100%. Couldn't say it better, man. Couldn't say it better.
Other than Oklahoma, is there any other, ultimately, bottom line, what do you think our record is going to be at the end of the season?
You look at it, Missouri's down. You don't have Hanky because he decided to go out and drink instead of practice.
Yeah.
But I think you beat Missouri at home to open the season. That's a good SEC win.
Yeah.
Youngstown State, they're not what people think they are. I think you got that win. Toss-up at BYU.
Right.
You're there at Landover. I think you win that game, but I don't know. I really don't know where this team's going to be at defensively. But I'd like to think that you start out 3-0, 4-0 against Kansas State because they don't have much coming back. At Texas Tech is always tricky. So that game could be an L. So let's say either BYU or Texas Tech is an L. So you're looking at 4-1 right there. TCU, that's a home game. You got a shot there, but probably not. So you're looking at 4-2. At Oklahoma State could be a downer. Could be 4-3. Then you get Tech or Kansas. So you go 5-3 at Texas. That's a toss-up too, but I think you might be able to pull that one off. So you got 6-3, Oklahoma 6-4, and Baylor and Iowa State there. Baylor's down more than what people think. So I think you're looking at 8-4 on the season, and maybe a mid-tier bowl game.
I can respect that. A lot of people don't realize that about Baylor, but like you said, they're down. They got a lot of mess going on over there right now.
The only thing about that is it's the end of the year, and they could get it together, but yeah. I don't know.
I like your picks, though. A lot of those games, like you said, like the BYU game, it all depends on which team decides to show up and play football.
My only disagreement on that would be...
to be honest with you, John, what you really got to look at, these first two games of the year, you got to stay healthy. and that's a real big trick, because you come out against Missouri, they're an SEC team, and I mean, it's SEC. It doesn't really matter who it is.
Right.
If you're playing Vanderbilt, you're getting top tier guys.
Right.
I just hope you're wrong on that TCU game. I got them back at Mountaineer Field. I hope that's revenge havens there. I have no quarter for teams that wear purple.
Well, we don't have much luck against these purple teams. Kansas State whips us.
Hey, I'm a Ravens fan, boy, so let's not talk about purple too much.
That's different league. I don't know. You're confused. I mean,
hey, at least I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, right?
I mean, I don't have any. I don't.
Hey, I don't really care about the NFL. So one of the teams got Mountaineers, and I'll tell you this: there ain't a Mountaineer Ravens, so I'm not a big fan of the Ravens.
Hey, maybe next year, man. Maybe next year.
I'll tell you what gets me is why the New Orleans Saints don't draft a Mountaineer, considering that their practice are here in West Virginia.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
At least drafts, so we get some people down there watching interested.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's go see old Jim Bob's boy. He's gonna be up there at the Greenbrier this year.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, every couple of years we're down there for football and basketball.
That's where I really get into my NFL. I love to see Mountaineers get in the NFL and do well. Of course, this year I guess I'll be a Raiders fan. Because you got Bruce and you got Carl.
I got Carl Joseph on my fantasy team. I'm excited about that. See what he's going to do.
Well, the Herd and Kittens Fantasy Football League doesn't draft until this Saturday, and that's my league. So
right on.
We'll have something going on there.
Right on. Well, Chris, I hate to, man, because we could sit and talk to you for a while, but we're going to hop off for a man, keep the show rolling, but we'll definitely be calling you back later on in the season, man. We appreciate your insight, brother.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, I know you like talking about the Mountaineers, you like talking about pro sports, but I'll tell you what, give a little love to these high school kids out there.
Oh, yeah.
They're out there, they're doing it, they're busting their butts, and they're going to open up their season this Friday. You don't have anything to do. You got a community out there. Just see your community team, man. These kids would love to have you out there cheering for them.
Go Raiders. That's all I'm going to say.
Red Devils.
I'm Grizzly, Nichols County. That's who I'll be on 105.5 WKQC.
There it is.
On Friday, I'll be calling out, and I'll give the Mountaineer Ramble a shout-out.
Right on, brother. We appreciate it, man.
All right, have a good one, John.
All right, you too, bud. Bye. Him and Chuck both had a lot of good points.
I like how he broke down the schedule like that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Very in-depth.
Game by game. I'm going to go ahead and start the chat here, boys. I'm going to say 9-2. Or 9-3, I'm sorry. I got Oklahoma beating us, unfortunately. Even though we are at home, like Chris said, they're strong. Bless you.
Sorry about that.
No worries. And then I'm torn between TCU and Oklahoma State. I've heard a lot of good things about Oklahoma State this coming season. Obviously, we won't know what they have until the season actually starts. But I think one of those two teams are going to beat us. And honestly, I'm worried about Texas Tech. It seems like they've had our number for the last couple of years. I think we might have got them last year. I can't remember. But it seems like we got to take our dad to a game in Morgantown. Was it 3 years ago? Against Texas Tech. I was like, yeah, we'll take him to this one. That way we get to sing the song with him. First time he ain't never went.
How many song got sung?
We didn't get to sing the song. I don't know if y'all remember that game or not, but we was up by 2 touchdowns at one point, and they come back and beat us in the second half. That was that one half football. Mountaineers like to do sometimes.
It's Jay Samaro is the whole reason we didn't win that game.
Yeah, Jay Samaro, he's hard to guard for sure. But I say 9-3. Like I said, Texas Tech, either Oklahoma State or TCU, and then I got Oklahoma beating us too. So, what do you guys look like?
I'm at 9-3 as well. You can make arguments on, especially the second half of the season, going either way. Definitely don't downplay Kansas State or BYU, basically because you don't know what they're going to hit you with.
Right.
They're going to be fast, built on an offense. Nobody said much about their defense yet, so don't know what the matchups are going to look like. But I went ahead and said 9-3 as well, and I've got us hard to pick, but I get worried about Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and I'm taking the easy shot at Oklahoma. Kind of like what Chris said. I think it's overmatched there. Oklahoma's hitting on all cylinders. Got a great offense. I hate admitting all of this.
Right.
They're toss-up games between Texas Tech. We seem to go back and forth with them, and likewise with Oklahoma State. We're either out front and better, or they come up and embarrass us. So
Yeah.
I don't like good feelings on any of those games. I'm sticking to what I feel. I think it's a revenge year for TCU. Last time they were in Morgantown, that was robbery. And just hoping that Texas is still down enough. You know, they're going to be big and strong and deep. So, you know, that's a tough one, but I'm going to pick against it and, you know, get us going 9-3.
Okay. I can not get behind that, but I can understand your logic there. Mikey, what are you looking like, brother?
Well, oddly enough, I got us going 9-3 as well.
Okay. Same games or a little different?
Well, them Cougars in Maryland, I don't like that one bit. I mean, that's toss-up.
Well, like
They always put a good
like
team
what
on the
Chris
field.
was saying, you know, the first two games of the season, you know, how healthy are we going to be when we go up against them?
Yeah, that's true.
Even though we got a bye week the week before.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the other two you got there?
Longhorns, they're young, they're hungry, real hungry.
They got some cows down there. I want you to just eat the cow.
Yeah.
There's only two things in
young
Texas.
cows.
You
Yeah.
can eat one of them.
Cows and goats, yeah.
Exactly.
So, be a Longhorn, that one, I mean, they're on to come up. And the Sooners.
Okay.
We all got the Sooners.
I'm hoping we're all wrong, boys. I hope
Yep.
that they
Yeah.
come into town
Yep.
and we whoop the brakes off
Come on.
of them.
Prove me wrong.
You
please.
know,
Prove me wrong.
this defense, you know, it's hard to tell what they're going to be by the end of the season. You know, they may blow up and
Yep.
be the talk of the Big 12. You know,
That's just
they're
the other
in.
thing about Baylor. I mean, that could be from the start of the
remember
season
when- I
to the
remember
end when we got them.
Oh,
That
yeah.
could be a whole new team by
Yeah.
then. So,
I remember when Carl Joseph and Darryl Worley and all them come in. You know, it was like, hey, who's these guys?
Like, look at that little
Next
guy.
thing you know, we're
Carl's out here
killing
crippling
people in
people.
Texas.
Yeah.
Do you guys, I'm going to throw this out there. Do you guys think Dana Holgorsen's coaching for his job this year? 2013, he went 4 for 8, which is not really his team. You know, he was still Bill Stewart's team at the time. And then 2014, we went 7 and 6, and then last year we went 8 and 5. We're progressively getting better, but
We ain't there yet. I don't think we're there yet.
I'm not sure what they feel like in Morgantown as far as all the higher ups. But as a fan, if we don't win 10 games during the regular season, I consider that a failure. I mean, even, you know, give or take a few, but, you know, bottom line, that's just how I am and how I always have been.
I think I get where you're coming from on the 10 game. I don't set a particular number.
Well,
Yeah.
not necessarily the number, but you know what I mean.
You have up
Just where
and
it
downs,
looks.
and
Yeah.
you gotta. I think you'd agree. You got to win the games that are out there to win.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't leave that on the field.
Yeah.
All because they didn't hold anything back. I can't remember what movie that was. So
Yeah. It was The Water Boy.
Was it the one?
We just went there.
Yeah.
Musburger's probably going to chest punch you over that.
Hey, water boy!
Yeah. Yeah, every year. And every year from going forward, he's going to coach for his job.
What's this gentleman's name? I can't remember his name. The new athletic director we got,
Shane Lyons.
Shane Lyons.
From Alabama.
You know, Oliver Luck's gone. You know, he brought Dana in. You know, who's to say this new athletic director doesn't want to get Dana out of there?
That's just it.
Try somebody else.
I don't think Dana was a bad choice to bring in
Yeah, I
or
don't think
anything
so
like
either.
that. But and there's been a lot of pros with that. There's just a disconnect at times that's very obvious with his vision for the team and what the team actually puts out there in performance.
Yeah.
Nobody's really going to hold anybody accountable for that. We could have taken a nosedive and everybody would have been very unhappy.
Right.
Particularly, since the cost of season tickets keep going up.
Yeah.
But I think every year he coaches for his job, and that's good.
It is. I mean, it gives him.
Don't want him to get complacent.
No. It gives him more drive to be better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just him. It's it's all the coaches in the league. Les Miles, he's been so good for LSU, and then last year, towards the end of the season, everybody's like, they gonna fire him.
Well, sure.
They gonna fire him. He wasn't winning the games.
Which in my opinion,
not winning no game.
which in my opinion, it would have been a real mistake to get rid of Coach Miles. But, look at how things do, and fans get in a frenzy, and you kind of lose the idea, the central idea.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited about Lane Kiffin going up against USC, first game of the season. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be a game. I think Alabama's going to mop the floor with them.
Pretty much.
But I'm excited that Kiffin gets to go back in there and say, oh, yeah, guys, you want to get rid of me?
I'm glad you brought up Alabama because I find that there are no more challenges left for a one Nicky Joe Saban other than coming back to
good old W.
Where he's from.
Come on home, boy.
Native, and
let them country roads take you on home.
Oh.
Let the country roads lead you to the promised land. How about
Yeah,
that?
there you
We'll
go.
all buy that T-shirt.
I'd buy it.
Come on, Nick.
Come on.
Nothing against Dana, but like to have you.
I'll make a couple phone calls, see if we can't make something happen.
See what we can do by next week, huh?
Yeah, see if we can.
All right.
Mikey, what do you think? You think Dana's in trouble this year? You think he's got to step up to the plate and go over and beyond to keep his job, or?
Well, over the past few years, it seems like we've been having this conversation,
We have.
And as the way
last year, in my opinion, the reason they didn't let him go, the year before last, is because all that money they would have had to pay him.
Now that's not so much a factor.
Now that's not so much a factor.
But you still have to ride out the season.
Right.
So, we'll see.
He's on the hot seat for sure.
Yeah. But right now, what we're going to do is we are going to throw you guys out a trivia question. My man Jack's going to throw it to you. And I want you guys to email us the answer. First correct answer that gets emailed to us gets a prize from the Mountaineer Ramble. This is our way of saying thank you for watching. This is almost at the end of the episode, so if you made it this far, you're probably going to make it to the end. So we just want to say thank you. So go ahead and throw them out a question there, Jack.
All right, Ramble fans, we'll throw you out an easy one. The last time that the Mountaineers locked up with the Missouri Tigers, give me the year, the bowl name, and a score. And
Dun, dun, dun. Am I allowed to answer? Can I get free stuff?
I mean, you're going to give them free stuff.
Can I email us?
Yeah, but here you can have
Stuff. Hey, who doesn't like stuff?
Yeah, stuff.
Free
Things.
Mountaineer Ramble stuff.
Hey, Ramble fans,
Ramble!
come strong with it. Be number one.
Come strong with it.
Anyway, guys, shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. And if you don't know the answer and you just want to email us to say hi, that's cool too. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi.
But we're going to go ahead and start the process here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start here with game one, Missouri Tigers. I'm going to throw out a score of what I think it's going to be. I'm saying 34-14, WVU wins. I don't know necessarily why I feel that way. It's just I feel like we're going to get a leg up on them, and that's that in a nutshell. Mikey, where do you see it there? That game.
Yeah, 21-7.
21-7.
21-7 Mountaineers.
Okay. Jacko?
Got 38-27, Mountaineers.
Okay, well, I can dig it. I guess we'll tune in next week to see which one of us was closest, huh?
Yeah, all right.
Well, that pretty much sums it up for today, guys. We really appreciate you guys tuning in with us here today. And we will see you guys next week. But until then, ramble on.
all